I just want to make sure that we're on the same page when we read this. It'll be on the screen if you want to follow me. Luke 13:22-30 says, He went on his way through towns and villages, teaching and journeying through Jerusalem. And someone said to him, Lord, will those who are saved be few? Can you repeat with me? Few? Say few? All right. And he said to them, strive to enter to the narrow door. Say, narrow door. Narrow. All right. For many, I tell you, will seek to enter and will not be able. When once the master of the house has risen and shut the door, and you begin to stand outside to knock at the door, saying, Lord, open to us, then he will answer you, I do not know where you come from. Then you will begin to say, we ate and drank in your presence, and you taught us in our streets. But he will say, I tell you, I do not know where you come from. Depart from me, all you workers of evil. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, when you see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves cast out. And people will come from east and west, and from north and south. Repeat with me. And people will come from east and west, and from north and south, and recline at the table of the kingdom of God. And behold, some are last, who will be first, and some are first, who will be last. This is the word of the Lord. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been blessed this whole year. I've been here for 14 months in the valley, but I've been so blessed to be here. And lately, we were blessed with a new home. And Gladys and I always wanted to have a big backyard. I don't know why. I didn't realize it gets 100-degree weather, 110. Who wants to be? Unless you have a swimming pool. So, but I got in my way, and the Lord blessed us with a big backyard. The only problem with that is that after a week, I noticed there was no grass. I mean, there were all kinds of weeds and all kinds of stuff in the front yard and the backyard. So I told Gladys, I need to buy myself a riding mower. She says, well, I don't think it's big enough for a riding mower. So I'm not going to spend half of my day burning my back, weed eating and getting all this redneck all the time, So I said, I want a riding mower and I want to get it done in less than 3 hours. So the Lord blessed us, and we were able to take that riding mower home and mow the front yard. Then I have a little problem. The riding mower didn't fit in the backyard because the gate was too narrow. So I had a dilemma. But I don't know if you know, I can do a lot of work with wood. I learned how to work with wood construction. So I decided to take this upon myself, and I decided to fix it. If you go to the next slide, I had a dilemma. So if you go to the next one, either I'm not going to take the riding mower back. I had to do some hillbilly accommodations, and look, it worked. Believe me, I thought I had a hernia when I pulled that door. But so we were able to do that, and thank God it worked. It went through, and if you go to the next slide, you see nothing a drill cannot do, and we were able to go through the gate. It was amazing. So this goes with the story for today. It goes with the story of the narrow door. And Jesus was asked, are those few who are going to enter to the narrow door? Well, I don't know about you. Especially since I've been here at the valley for the last month, for the last year, it seems that the doors are getting narrow. I wish it was taller and smaller, but the doors are getting narrow. And I know what you're looking at. It's my belly, right? But, that's one thing to look at. Maybe it's my belly that way. But there's a lot of stuff that I can put in my pockets. Like, I can put this in my pocket. This makes it wider, right? Then if I put more stuff in here, it keeps going and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So my question to you today is, what's in your pocket? What's in your life that is making that door to seem narrow? Because there is something in your life that makes that door to seem narrow. For many years, I thought that this question was a question that shouldn't be, It's a question, a legit question. For many years, I believed in the idea that good people go to heaven. The people who do good deeds and good works, they go to heaven. As I got older, I learned some things. That while I was going through that questioning to myself, I was looking at my family members who passed away. I was remembering my sister who got killed at 18 in a very dramatic way, shot dead. She was hanging around with the wrong crowd. And it makes me ask the question, it makes me ask the question, Lord, are those family members in my family going to be in the few that are going to go enter to the door? Now, a lot of people, when I was studying for this, they said about the narrow door, most of them said that's the wrong question to ask. I don't believe it was the wrong question. I believe it's in the Bible for a purpose. And that question is the question that I have. Have you ever been around the people that says there's no such thing as a bad question? But when you ask a question, it makes you feel stupid. Right? So this is not a bad question. This is not a stupid question. This is a legit question that we all have. Because it seems like the door gets narrower and narrower when we look at ourselves. See, when I look at my family, when I look at my family members, when I look at my sister, that door keeps getting smaller, 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 because what I knew they have done. And now when I look back, it's like, they made it too. See, that's a big mistake. When I look at my family and I look at their behavior, instead of looking at the cross. Because it's not their behavior, the ones that got them through that narrow door. Who's our door? Who's our door? Jesus Christ is our door. And this door, we cannot do that. We cannot change it. We cannot alter the door. We cannot do some adjustments to this door. This door is solid and it's narrow. It's narrow. And I cannot change that. See, this door, as we go in life, we realize that it becomes narrow and narrow. It's not only me getting the weight here, it's also you getting all the weight of your heavy sins that you have done. I know you all have done it. Maybe it was that relationship that you were never able to reestablish that made your life heavy. Maybe it was a divorce that you just, it doesn't make sense. Maybe it was the child that didn't match your expectations. Maybe it was you that you never matched your parents' expectations, and that makes your weight heavier and heavier. And it seems like this is just a ceremony, but not the truth. See, as we get older, or we get fatter with our sin, we realize that the door is narrow. So what are we going to do to go through that narrow door? The narrow door is open today for 3 little ones. Because we believe this. Remember what it says in the reading? 1 Peter 3:21, what it says. Baptism, which corresponds to this, now saves you. That is to remove the dirt from the body and appeal to God for a good conscience. Baptism now saves you. Can you tell the person you're saved? Tell the person next to you. It's not what you have done. It's not what you are not able to accomplish. But it's what Christ has done for you. Because there will be times that you might think you are having the right diets, right? And you're exercising, you feel fit to go through that door. But I know all of us have failed some diets. We all have failed those diets, and when we try to do things, and we do good for a little bit, then somebody put a big cake in front of us. And it's like we're going to be after service today, and we just fell for it. It's the same our sinful lives. Sometimes we do good, but then we go back again to the sinful actions. Brothers and sisters, if it was because of our own effort, we have no hope. We have nothing. But I have good news to you. The door that is narrow still open. As Lutherans, we believe that we are living in the time of grace. Mike, if you put the door, the other one. We believe that we're in the time of grace. What? I don't need grace. I'm doing pretty good. My finances are good. I'm behaving. I'm not doing anything. Well, you're not fit to go through that door. You're not fit to go through it. It's like Vicar Chad was telling me, it was meant to be for one person. Jesus Christ. It's a beautiful analogy. But I think this narrow door, sometimes we think that we can go through, and that's not the case. When we look at it in a mirror and you see overweight, if you go back to the other one, right? When you look in the mirror, you see fat. I see fat. I see overweight. Which this week I'm gonna start a diet. I don't have more last time. But when you look at the 10 Commandments, at the mirror of the law, what do you see in your life? When you look at the mirror of the 10 Commandments, I think you felt overweight. You feel like there's no possible way that you can fit through that door. We all feel that way. We all know. So that's why the door is still open for us, because we live in a time of grace. We live in a time where Christ has invited us. I don't know if you ever heard, the story when Jesus in the banquet, the big banquet. Have you heard the story? When Jesus, this man, the master invites people, but they don't come. They don't come because they got something to do. Everyone is in a different place. But Jesus goes, okay, go and tell the other people, everybody else. And because he went and tell the other people, now we're here. We're not Israelites. We are those people who the Lord came to us and visited us and invited us to dine with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the most important, with our God. You see, the door is narrow, but when we read this, you were reading with me, it says in the bottom, and people will come from east and west and from north and south. That's a narrow door. People from the east and west, from the north and south will come through that narrow door. That's beautiful to know. Because salvation is by who? Christ alone. We believe that. Because of this time of grace, there will be all sorts of people in heaven. Look what it will be. Maybe see if you are in this list. All right? You will be some prostitutes, drug addicts, people from the east and the west, from the north and the south, people with poor church attendance, people who in the last minute decided to follow Jesus when they were dying. People who never opened the Bible in their lives. And those who give a little bit back to God in their offering. Those who are in prison. And look at this one. The lazy, the gossipers, the gripers, the complainers, the self-centered, those who have their cake and ate it too. All of them are in the invitation. So what does it mean to us now that we know that the door is still open and that we're in our time of grace? How are you going to go from this place and now put this into action? Continue the invitation. Share the invitation with other people. We're doing it at Los Fresnos. We're doing it in Reynosa now. We're doing it now in El Calvario in Brownsville. We're doing it in Haiti. We have so many places that we're sharing this invitation with people. And it's important that we share this because in here you find the open door. In here you find nourishment for your body, for your soul. Because you are not fed. You need to start this diet. This body, blood. With that, you're fit. With the forgiveness of sins, now we can go from this place and share the good news with other people. Look what Jesus says, I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved. Look at the last one, what it says. The master told his servant, go out to the roads and the country lanes. Call them to come in, so that my house will be full. I tell you, no one of those who were invited will get a taste of my banquet. So now we have the opportunity. We know that the door is still what? Still open. Tell the person next to you, it's still open. And you know why? Because that person might have some luggage, some heavy stuff. You need to know that. It's still open. Make this be our meditation for today. That the door is still open. That the banquet is getting ready for us. I go to prepare a place for you. Start the diet. Start at Jesus' feet. The only way to the Father. Amen. Now let us, you stand as you receive the benediction of our Lord.